It's been revealed Deloitte used artificial intelligence to prepare a report to the federal government's Department of Employment and Workplace Relations. The department spent $440,000 on this report, which contained errors and a made-up quote from a federal court judge. Deloitte has now issued a partial refund. Business reporter Daniel Ziffer has the details.
So they were asked to do something that they do quite a lot, which is come in and externally audit a particular system. Now, this one was about the way that people are paid in the welfare system, particularly about the kind of compliance around mutual obligations for people who are on JobSeeker and things like that. So this is the kind of fairly standard stuff that our big four consulting firms do. They come in, they look at a particular problem and they provide a report for government about usually recommendations of how to fix something.
But there were some errors found in this report.
There were some substantial errors found in this report, including kind of fictitious references, made-up federal court judgments, fake people being used as references. And all of this stuff had come because some of the report was created using artificial intelligence. Now, there's a form of AI that's called generative AI, and what it does is you ask it to do something and it essentially goes out, searches all the available information on the internet, puts it together and kind of summarises it. Now, the problem with that is that AI wants to please you, and so it does a thing that's called hallucination, which is essentially sometimes it kind of makes up stuff to fill the gaps. So it provides a product that looks very much like it's real and has legal references and has all the right stuff, but it might have made some of that up. And that's what happened in this report, which was discovered by an academic and published in the media, where this report that had been paid for handsomely by taxpayers to a tune of $440,000 was in some ways made up.
So it was re-uploaded on Friday. Was everything fixed?
Well, there were a lot of changes. There were changes to some of the specific references, these high court cases, and just some little notations in the footnotes about some of the errors that had occurred. Now, the core of the report was the same, which was basically saying that this system that they had about compliance was extremely punitive and was essentially set up with the assumption that people were trying to rip off the system, which was not a correct assumption. But as we've seen in a lot of cases with AI, when you set it to do something, it might do it, but it might not be specifically correct. Now, Deloitte has offered a partial refund for the work that they've done for the taxpayer. They've got a lot of smart people working in this consulting firm, so I don't know why they went with partial, but that's where they're at the moment. And I think we're going to see more of this. We've already seen it in court, where people have been caught submitting kind of made-up previous cases, made up precedents that the judges have then said, hold on, what's this? This is fictitious.
So, Dan, is this a bit of a wake-up call for the consulting firms?
A lot of businesses are using AI, and in fact, there's some really fascinating research about the fact that a lot more staff are using it than perhaps businesses are aware of. Now, this is particularly embarrassing because the department that this was created for, the Department of Workplace and Employment, is run by someone who used to work for one of the big four consulting firms. I'll let you guess which one. And so I think that Natalie James, who runs that department, would be particularly unhappy with the work of her alma mater here. But this is a moment where people are using this stuff, whether it's sanctioned by their employer or not, and we're seeing some of the blurring and some of the issues that can arise when this technology is allowed out and people use it without maybe making others aware of the fact that there are real limitations to it and it needs to be very carefully checked.